So this poem is called For Colored Girls Who Don't Need Katy Perry When Missy Elliott Is Enough.
3rd grade, I'm in the hallway when I'm sure I shouldn't have been, and Corey White comes up to me and asks, "Yo, have you heard that new Missy Elliott track?" I reply, "Who's Missy Elliott?" My parents only let me listen to gospel in the smooth jazz station, but that day, I ran home, went upstairs to my room, closed the door, a cardinal sin in a black mother's house, and waited on TRL to come on, and then it happened.
Metallics in a black trash bag fill my TV screen, and I hear the coolest thing I'd ever heard in 8 years of living. Beep, beep, who got the keys to the Jeep? Vroom. And at that moment, I had my entire life figured out. I was gonna grow up to be Missy Elliott.
I spent the next 10 years of my life recording and rewinding videos to learn dance moves, getting my freak on, passing that Dutch, and trying to figure out what the hell she was saying and work it. There were so many artists I could have idolized at the time, but Missy
was the only one who looked like me. It's because of Melissa Elliott that I believe that a fat black girl from Chicago could dance until she felt pretty, could be sexy and cool, could be a woman playing a man's game and not be apologetic about it if you ask me. Where representation in the media is important, I will show you my velour outfit and the matching Kango hat I begged my parents for.
I will show you a 26-year-old black woman who learned how to dance until she felt pretty. Feminism wears a throwback jersey, bamboo earrings, and a face beat for the gods. Feminism is Lil' Kim, DeBrat, Angie Martinez, and Missy on the Not Tonight track. Feminism says, as a woman in my same arena, you are not my competition. Feminism says, as a woman in my same arena, your light doesn't make mine any dimmer. Dear Missy,
I did not grow up to be you, but I did grow up to be me and to be in love with who this woman is, to be a woman playing a man's game and to not be apologetic about any of it if you ask me. Well, representation is important, I will tell you. On days I don't feel pretty, I hear the sweet voice of Missy singing to me, pop that, jiggle that fat, and don't stop, get it till your clothes get wet. I will tell you that right now there are a million girls just waiting to see someone who looks like them. Thank you all so much.
He says real women don't twerk. And I say, oh, really? The last time I checked, what I do with my behind don't make me hold my head any less high. I remember. Before you called it twerking, me and my cousins would pop in the backyard at the family reunions, and it didn't make us any less women. I remember watching my mother and her sisters move their hips like there was freedom in their bones, and it didn't make them any less goddess. We have been shaking our behind since before we knew what foreign soil tasted like back home. Call it mapuka, call it kukure, call it sacrifice for the gods, and I will present my offering every time I hear Raindrop Drop Top or Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 and the 2000s. I will not let you tell me that the Africa in my back is something that I should be ashamed of. I will not let you tell me that I should quiet these drums. I will display them for all the world to see because they are mine. They are mine. They are mine. Thank you. Come through, eyebrows. Hey. Yes, highlight. Yes. I see you braid out. I have posted another selfie on Facebook, and black women are doing what they do best, making me feel more visible than I have ever been, and I say lean in. Let me tell you of a wall-less church, a congregation of women in the business of saving. Women given the trash and the broken yet refuse to think you disposable. Women who do the heavy lifting while the world gawks from the sidelines. Women serving as a second womb for motherless children, for grown-ass men intent on not doing their own emotional work, and we let you bask in the greatness. That is, should you be so lucky to be granted this magic, because we might side-eye you to kingdom come, might roll our eyes until you poof into oblivion, and ain't that sorcery? The way our defenses protect us from the elements, from a winter of fuckboys intent on getting all of our harvest, and you so vain you think we do this for you. As if we wake up in the morning pandering to the world's gaze, as if black aunties have nothing better to do than to raise children that aren't theirs, as if the women of Alabama and Wakanda ain't have shit else to do than to save men from themselves. Lean in. They saved themselves first and you got saved in the process, and ain't that the way it always goes? We get dressed in all the work we do and you be redeemed just by touching the hem of our garments. Black queer women create social justice movements and you make it about the men oblivious to their own privileged men who demand we be black first and woman only when it suits them. Our intersectionality is an inconvenient myth. Misogyny is a weed that grows back no matter how many blavity think pieces you spray on it. The trouble with being the savior, though, is that people don't usually think you need saving. They don't think you need gentleness. To the women I say no, that I vow to be more gentle with you. Know that you are worthy of someone who helps you with the work. Too long we have dined with the world, serving food from our own gardens on tables that we bought and built. All that I have I owe to black women. And when I hear a woman speak ill of black women, I think of the girl I used to be, trying so hard to be one of the boys. I'm still forgiving myself for all the times I saw a wound or a mirror instead of a sister, but here I say I'm sorry. I say glory to the women who thought I was worth saving. Glory to the women who think I'm enough even on days when I fall short. To the women out here, I say come through eyebrows. I say I see you highlight. I say you be visible and you be worthy of all this praise.
You is smart, you is kind, you is important. Nicole Parker, a New York blogger, has reasoned that black women across America ought to be outraged at the depiction of the maids in the film The Help. I look at my computer screen and wonder, outraged about what? The only people ever offended by the truth are those when given the choice prefer the lie. I find this film to be mildly nostalgic. It reminds me of my grandmother who cleaned houses by day and was a Chicago hotel maid by night. It reminds me of my mother showing me pictures of her grandmother's house back in Mississippi. The floor shined even through the photographs. She reminds me we didn't have much, but it was always clean. It reminds me of Saturday mornings spent earning my right to go outside back when children had to earn the right to go outside. Are the baseboards clean? My mother would ask, as if anybody but her ever noticed a dirty baseboard anyway. It reminds me that cleanliness is next to godliness, and I have the blood of broom-toting women flowing through my veins. Miss Parker, what were you expecting? This ain't no damn Ancestry.com commercial. This is a story of history at its finest, the story of women who kept their prayers in their apron pockets and sprinkled them over dinner so the children they raised would know love long after they were gone. Women who knew 101 ways to use Crisco. Women who knew school is somewhere they'd been once upon a time but can never go back because 90 cents an hour keeps bellies full and clothes on backs. What makes me mad is that you, like too many people I know, think that this history is something to be ashamed of. It's okay to be from any other chapter in the history book, but you be damned if you be black. My knowledge of my ancestors may only span 250 years, but I am proud to be the daughter of freedom marchers, of Mississippi maids, of Birmingham martyrs. You laugh at our grandmothers for getting this language wrong. They were just trying to do their best with the stolen pieces they were given. On May 6, 2012, I graduated from Georgia State University, and it was a testament to the women who came before me, who cleaned houses so that I wouldn't have to, who served coffee quietly so that I could be a poet. It was for Geraldine Harris, Ophelia McGinnis, Aunt Katie, Aunt Essie, Aunt Annie, so they would know I don't take anything they did for granted. What makes me mad is that you make fun of the mantra. My grandmother's spirit speaks to me every day. You is smart, you is kind, and doggone it, you is important. 575. 575. I tripped over my own bra today. I guess that's what you call a booby trap. 575. 575. I wanted a ring in exchange for loyalty. So did LeBron James. Thank you. I'll be here the next 25 minutes.